students, welcome back to our channel. Here we are back with another chapter of physics. This class is specially dedicating for all my plus 2 students. Hope you will like the video. And before that, if you are watching my video for the first time, please subscribe my channel and press the bell button also to get the notification of my coming videos. We are starting the first chapter of physics, plus 2 physics, that is electric charges and fields. Since we are talking about charge, we have to know what is the basics of charge. We can study some basics of charge. What is actually mean by charge? Charge is the intrinsic property of matter. Charge is the intrinsic property of matter. Then what do you mean by intrinsic? Intrinsic means a property of its own, that is independent of others. We know that sometimes you heard that mass is also an intrinsic property of matter. Then what is the difference between charge and mass? That is the other basics of charge. Charge is of two types, positive and negative. We know that mass is always positive, but charge can be positive as well as negative. That is the fundamental difference between charge and mass. Now we can say that another basics of charge is a scalar quantity. What do you mean by scalar? There are two types of quantities that you already studied in your class 9, vector and scalar. The quantities having magnitude only is called scalar quantity, and quantities which is having magnitude as well as direction is called vector quantity. So we can say that charge is a scalar quantity. Then we discussed intrinsic property. Charge is an intrinsic property. Charge is of two types, positive and negative, and charge is a scalar quantity. Then how can we represent the charge? Charge can be represented by the letter Q. And now what is the SI unit of charge? We know that for every physical quantity there should be a unit. Then what is the unit of charge? The SI unit of charge is coulomb and is representing by the letter C. The SI unit of charge is coulomb and is representing by the C. This is some basics of charge. Okay. Now, in your textbook, the chapter is beginning with an experiment, a small experiment like this. Okay, I think you can see this figure properly. Okay, just look this first figure A. Here you can see that there is two glass rods and a silk thread is given. Okay, what is the process happening is the glass rod is rubbing with this silk thread. Then what is happening? Due to this rubbing, some amount of charge from this glass rod is transferring towards the silk thread. And we know that a substance which loses electrons, a substance which loses charges will always be positively charged, and the substance which gains the electron is always negatively charged. Here in this picture you can see that this glass rod is became positively charged, and we can say that some amount of charge is transferred from this glass rod to silk thread, and this glass rod became positively charged. Now you can see another glass rod here. This glass rod is also rubbed with the silk thread, and it also acquires some positive charge. Then when this glass rod is bring in contact with this glass rod, then what will happen? That is what is the experiment. Here you can see that this is positive and this is also positive. Now I am introducing another property of charge, that is like charges will always repel each other. What do you mean by like charges? Like charges means charges having same sign. Here it is positive, it is also positive. So they will repel each other in this first experiment. Then another like charge is also there. What is that? Yes, negative and negative. Negative and negative is like charge, and positive is also like charge. Just look this picture B. Here instead of glass rod we can see that this is a plastic rod. This plastic rod is rubbing with this silk thread. Due to this rubbing, what is happening? Just opposite to that of glass rod, some amount of electrons from the silk thread is transferring towards this plastic rod. That is, plastic rod is getting some electron. So this plastic rod became negatively charged. And here also you can see another plastic rod which is also rubbed with this silk thread and acquired negative charge, is bringing in contact with this plastic rod. So they both are of having same charges, same negative charge, or they are like charges, and we already discussed like charge will repel each other. So this plastic rod and this plastic rod will repel each other. Now what about this third picture? Here this is a glass rod is rubbing with the silk thread, and we studied that then glass rod will acquire some positive charge. Here this is plastic rod which is also rubbed with the silk thread, and plastic rod is getting negative charges due to the rubbing. When this plastic rod, negatively charged plastic rod, brings in contact with this positively charged glass rod, they will attract because they are of having opposite sign, or they are unlike charges. One is positive and one is negative. So they will attract each other. This is a simple experiment from which what we are trying to say is, when two bodies or two objects rubbing with each other, the charge transfer is taking place, or the substance become electrically charged due to this rubbing. This process is otherwise called, the rubbing between two objects is otherwise called friction. And the charge generated or the electricity generated due to this rubbing is called friction and electricity. Now we studied that the like charge will repel each other and the unlike charge will attract each other. We can depict it like this. Suppose this is positive charge and this is also positive charge. This is positive and this is positive. They are like charges and they will repel each other. Here it is, this is negative charge. This is also negative charge. They will repel each other. They are like charges. And the unlike charge, if this is positive and this is negative, they will attract each other. That is the property that we have discussed so far. Now, the property which determines or which differentiates the two charges. We know that what are the two charges? Positive charge and negative charge. The property which differentiates these two charges is called polarity. Polarity, the polarity. So, we know that there are two types of polarity. One is positive polarity and the negative one. Another one is negative polarity. Now we are talking about another apparatus or a small experiment that is given in your textbook. This is gold leaf electroscope. The apparatus consists of a metal knob, metal rod, rubber, and this is a glass window, and this is gold leaves. Now we can check how this apparatus is working. Suppose a charged object, suppose an object which is electrically charged while touching this metal knob, that electrons or that charges will flow towards this gold leaf. Here you can see there is two gold leaves. The picture is actually not very clear. You can refer your textbook. Okay. Here when this charge is coming to this gold leaf, there is two leaves. So the same kind of charge is entering. That is, if suppose it is positive, this both leaves gets positively charged, and we know that they will repel each other. So while looking the divergence of these gold leaves, we can predict that whether a charge is present here or not. From this picture, it will be very clear. This is our metal knob. Here a positively charged object is touching this metal knob. Clear? So this positive charge is transferring towards this gold leaf like this through this metal rod. So while reaching this positive charge, these two leaves become positively charged and they will diverge or they will repel each other. So this apparatus, gold leaf electroscope, is used to identify the presence of a charge. If there is a presence, the gold leaf will diverge, and according to while viewing the divergence of this gold leaf, we can predict that how much amount of charge came through this metal rod. Okay, if the amount of charge is very high, then of course the divergence is also very high. Now we are talking about conductors and insulators. Conductors and insulators. What is conductors? From the name itself, it is clear that conductors are the substance which conducts electricity. Simply, the substance which conducts electricity is called conductors, or we can say that the substance which allow the passage of electricity is called conductors. Conductors, the substance which conducts. Okay, then what is the insulators? Just opposite to that of conductors. The substance which does not allow the flow of electricity is called insulator. Does not allow the flow of electricity is called insulators. Then other difference between conductors and insulator is that in the conductor there are loads of free electrons or free charges. These free charges is making a substance conductor. So that is, in order to be a good conductor, there should be lots of free electrons. Okay, but in insulator there is no free electrons or no free charges present. That is why it is not able to conduct. That is why it is an insulator. And we can see some examples of conductors like all metals. Examples. Metals are the examples for conductors. And what about human bodies? Yes, human body is also an example for conductor. Then our earth is also a good conductor. Then what about insulators? All non-metals. You can say something like plastic, wood, etc. are the examples for insulators. Now a small term, grounding or earthing. Grounding or earthing. What is meant by grounding? That is, if we bring a electrically charged object in touch with earth, then the excess amount of charge present in that object will share or transfer towards the earth. This is nothing but earthing or grounding. That is, if a body is having excess charges, the sharing of that excess charges to the earth is called grounding. I already told you that human bodies are examples for conductor, right? Then what is happening to charges? If we are electrically charged, so that excess charge is transferring or sharing towards the earth. Similarly, if any other objects which is electrically charged objects which is in touch with or bringing in contact with earth, the sharing of the excess charge towards the earth. Clear? That is called grounding or earthing. Now we can study what are the different ways or what are the different methods in which a body is being charged. For that, mainly there are three methods: charging by friction. The second one is charging by conduction, and the third one is charging by induction. Okay, the first one, charging by friction, we already discussed it. That is when two bodies are rubbing with each other, the electron transfer is taking place, and due to that the body is become electrically charged. That is what is rubbing, charging by rubbing or charging by friction. For example, we already seen the examples of glass rod is rubbing with silk thread. In that case, some amount of the glass rod is transferring towards the silk thread. Due to that, the glass rod become positively charged and the silk thread become negatively charged. This type of charge generating due to the rubbing between two bodies is called charging by friction. Okay, the second one is charging by conduction. Suppose if we are touching an object with another electrically charged object, then the charge will share, means the other bodies also become charged. Such process, due to the touch with the charged object, the other body is also becoming charged. That process is called charging by conduction. But here we are going to study deeply the third one, charging by induction. That is, without touching an object, by the presence of an external charge, other bodies become electrically charged. That process is we are going to study deeply, charging by induction. Here you can see 5 figures. In figure A, this is 2 metal spheres A and B. They are fixed on an insulating stand. They are in touch with each other and they are fixed on an insulating stand. Clear? And in figure B, we are introducing an external glass rod of having positive sign. That is having positive charge. Okay. We know that inside this metal sphere there are lots of free charges. Due to this positive charge, external positive charge, all the negative free electrons will attract towards this positive side. Clear? Okay. Then due to the, of course there should be repulsion between positive and positive. Then all positive charges will reside on the far side of B. And all negative charges will reside on the near side of A. That is shown in figure B. And in figure C, we are making a small distance apart between these 2 spheres A and B. We are making a small distance, or we are keeping them apart, a small distance apart. Still this external glass rod, external positive glass rod is here. So what will happen? These charges, due to these negative and positive charges, these two metal spheres will attract each other. Okay. And in next picture, we are removing this external glass rod. Okay. After removing this external glass rod, these charges, they will rearrange the charges like this. That is, all negative charges of A is residing in this side and all positive charges of B will reside this side. And in last figure, these charges will uniformly distribute all over. Okay. These negative charges and positive charges will uniformly distributing. Here, this is what is the process of induction. Without touching the object, by the presence of an external object, these other objects will become charged. That is what is induction. And equal and oppositely charged. Here we can see that there are 4 negative charges and here it is 4 positive charges. They will arrange equally and oppositely due to the process of induction. Now this is a question from your textbook. How can you charge a metal sphere positively without touching it? That is, from this question itself it is clear, without touching it means by the process of induction. Okay, we want to make the metal sphere positively charged. This is our metal sphere A. In order to make it positively charged, we are introducing a negatively charged glass rod here. Due to the attraction of this negative charge, all the positive free charges will reside on this side. And due to the repulsion of negative charge, all the negative charges will reside on the far side of A. Is it? So, in this picture, the next picture, this external glass rod is still here. We are providing a grounding or thing here. So, all the negative charges which is present here, it will be flow towards the earth. The external charge is still there. And in the next picture, after earthing, it will be like this. All the negative charges were gone to the ground. Then, due to the attraction of this external charge, the positive free charges will still stay here. And in the last picture, we are removing this external glass rod and all the positive charges which are present in this metal sphere will uniformly arrange themselves in this sphere. This is how we can make a sphere positively charged. Now we are talking about some basic properties of charge. Basic properties of charge. Some basic properties we already discussed, that the like charges will repel each other and the unlike charge will attract each other. And also we said that charge is a scalar quantity, that is a quantity having magnitude only. Here we are saying some other basic properties of charge. First one is additivity of charge. From the name itself it is clear that additivity, that is we can add charges. For example, suppose if we have a system having n number of charges, q1, q2, etc. to qn, then the total number of charges inside that system can be written as total charge. Q total can be written as q1 plus q2 plus etc. plus qn. That is the additivity of charges, that the total charge of a system is the sum of individual charges. That is, we can say that we can add charges as numbers. Okay, that is the first property of charge. Then the second property is conservation of charges. Conservation of charge. The definition, you know that what is the conservation of charge? Charge can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can only be transferred from one form to another. Clear? We can, in our previous example, we can say that while rubbing glass rod with silk thread, that is a system. The system means the glass rod as well as this silk thread. While rubbing this glass rod with silk thread, some electrons of this glass rod is transferring towards the silk thread, and glass rod become positively charged and the silk thread become negatively charged. That means there is no loss of electrons, or there is no loss of charge. How much amount of charge is lost by that glass rod, that much amount of charge is gained by that silk thread. So that means the total charge is conserved, or the total charge is constant over the entire system. Clear? Charge is not losing, only the charge transfer is taking place. That is what is the conservation of charge. And the other property is quantization of charge. Quantization of charge. What is mean by quantization? Quantization of charge saying that Q, the charge is equal to some integral multiple of a basic charge. This is a basic charge E. That can be a proton or electron. If it is a proton, we can represent it as plus E, and if it is a negative electron, we can represent it by negative. So the value of E is equal to 1.602 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb, the charge of electron E. Okay, so the quantization of charge saying that charge is equal to some integral multiple of a basic charge. Here n is any integer which is positive or negative. These are the three basic properties of charge that we are discussing here. This is an important law of this chapter, that is Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law is actually the force. We are using this Coulomb's law, we are finding out the force between two charges. For example, suppose we have a system of having two charges, Q1 and Q2. They are separated by Q1 and Q2. They are separated by a distance R. Now we are going to arrive an equation for force between these charges Q1 and Q2. This force is directly proportional to product of these charges. Product of these charges means Q1 into Q2. And this force between these two charges is inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. We know that the distance is R. The square of the distance means R square. So the square of the distance is inversely proportional to F. That is, F is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. In order to show the inverse proportionality, we are writing it as 1 by R square. Okay. While combining these two, we can write F is proportional to Q1 Q2 divided by r square. Okay, clear? Now we want to change this proportionality by a constant. Okay, here we are introducing a constant k, so we can write it as f is equal to k into q1 q2 divided by r square. Okay, now this is a basic form of Coulomb's law. Now here we are using another constant, that is the constant is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 q2 divided by r square. This is the basic equation for force between two charges by Coulomb's law. Here we are introducing a new term epsilon 0, which is called permittivity of free space. Permittivity of free space. That means the amount of charge that the free space can hold. How much charge a free space can hold, that is what is epsilon 0, the permittivity of free space. This is what is the Coulomb's law. Now we can write it in other way. The value of a constant k is taking us 9 into 10 raised to 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. While substituting these values, otherwise we can write f is equal to 9 into 10 raised to 9 into q1 q2 divided by r square. These are the form of Coulomb's law. But then what is the definition of Coulomb's law? Coulomb's law states that if two charges they are separated by a distance r, then Coulomb's law states that the force between that two charges is directly proportional to the product of their charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Clear? The force between two charges is directly proportional to the product of their charges and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. Okay? This much only we are discussing in this video. The coming part we can discuss it in the coming videos. Hope you like the video. So don't forget to subscribe. Bye.